I've said this to the President of Pakistan and to leaders in Pakistan. This is your war. It's not ours, fundamentally. I mean, we have a linkage to it because of al-Qaeda and 9/11. But this is now a fight for the survival of Pakistan. This is an insurgency that threatens the democracy of Pakistan. And it is much more their fight than ours. We cannot win it. We cannot win this for them. They have to make the commitment. They have to make the decision.
Obama administration officials called Pakistan the most dangerous place in the world in terms of U.S. interests. Do you think that's right?
If not the, certainly one of the top 2 or 3, but I'd easily put it as the, sure. It has nuclear weapons. It has a part of its country that is not controlled by the country. You know that al-Qaeda and Taliban are increasingly using that as a base of operations, not only against forces and citizens in Afghanistan, but also against Pakistanis now.
I want to hear from both you and Richard about this soundbite. Here is Hillary Clinton talking about aid money, and you're right. I mean, she's really putting it on the line here. Take a listen.
You don't have to believe it. We don't have to give you the money. I mean, this is like, you know, this is not, nobody is saying you must take this money.
Contentious, but also, I mean, she makes a point. It's a difficult relationship, is it not, Andrea? On foreign relations, Richard Haas, why is this relationship so difficult to navigate, the United States and Pakistan?
Pakistan has been in existence for just over 60 years, and when Pakistanis look at their history, they feel frustrated by it. They look at all the times where they lost out to India. They feel there's times where they didn't get the aid they deserved. They have a narrative, and they have a narrative where they feel betrayed. They feel that the United States has let them down. They feel like the victim. They play the victim card, and no matter what we do, it's rarely enough.
So given what you're saying and given what we just saw, do you think the way Hillary Clinton was approaching, communicating there, do you think that will resonate?
As you heard from Andrea, it'll barely make a dent. We are going up against the full force of history. So in a funny sort of way, the more we try to help, the more we underscore the fact that they're dependent on us. They don't like it. It's the only thing harder than dealing with your adversaries sometimes is dealing with your so-called friends. This is the most neuralgic relationship we probably have going right now.
Okay. So
and kid ourselves. To put it bluntly, the Pakistanis are hard to help. We're trying to tell them your biggest challenge are these extreme issues you've just talked about. A lot of the military and a lot of the people in Pakistan think their biggest problem is India, so they don't want to orient what the military and police forces do.
So Richard, what do we do? I mean, as I said earlier, failure's not an option here. Pakistan, stable Pakistan, let's be blunt, is a hell of a lot more important than a stable Afghanistan. How do we stabilize that country? How do we reach out and create a long-term relationship?
Well, Joe, the answer may not be how do we succeed. The bigger question may be how do we avoid failing. Some situations are conditions rather than problems to be fixed. I think with Pakistan, our goal should be not to make it Switzerland. It should be to keep it from failing, to keep it from collapsing.
How do we do that?
Oh, that's exactly what we're doing. We basically try to give them military aid, but get them to orient it towards the real problems inside their country.
We've been doing this for 8 years.
We haven't been doing a lot of it for 8 years. Too much of what we gave them was a blank check. Too much of it was not sufficiently conditioned. Though, as the administration has painfully learned, when we try to condition the aid, you get the pushback, you get the resentment. I think the bottom line, Joe, with Pakistan, there is and there probably will continue to be a gap between the
colonoscopy. President Bush said today he is troubled by this week's national intelligence estimate that warned that al-Qaeda is gaining strength in Pakistan's remote tribal region on the Afghan border. At the same time, Mr. Bush offered support for Pakistan's embattled president, Pervez Musharraf. Joining us now is Jerry Van Dyke, our CBS News consultant on Pakistani affairs. Jerry, thanks for being here.
Good afternoon, Joe.
A lot more violence in Pakistan, more than we've ever seen, really, in the past few years, including car bombs, a trademark of al-Qaeda. What's happening?
That's true. This is the worst time in the history of Pakistan, right at this very moment. What we are seeing for the first time in its 60-year history is suicide bombing. We have suicide bombing in Afghanistan. Now we have suicide bombing in Pakistan. This is a hallmark of al-Qaeda. This is what Ayman al-Zawahiri has introduced to South Asia.
Has Pervez Musharraf allowed, either directly or tacitly, al-Qaeda and the Taliban to reemerge in Pakistan?
This is the question that is on everybody's lips. As we all know, after 2001, Tora Bora, al-Qaeda disappeared and went down to what many people feel are along the Afghan-Pakistani border in Pakistan. The national intelligence estimates say, yes, we think, all intelligence feels that he's in the border region. We do not know for certain. No one has seen Osama bin Laden since March 2002. We do not know. What we do know, however, is that every single al-Qaeda leader has been captured in a major Pakistani city, never along the border. That is, throughout the country. What we're looking at, and this is exceedingly dangerous, is the potential Talibanization of Pakistan.
Reputation and leadership. Madam Secretary, very good of you to be here. So good to see you.
Good to be with you. Thank you.
A lot of people have sent emails, and I've heard the chattering classes asking, why is it that we're not over there hugging India more than we are now? And I wonder if there's a big picture answer as it relates to Pakistan.
Well, I think that we have to figure out how to have a relationship with both India and Pakistan. Pakistan has everything that gives you an international migraine. It has nuclear weapons, it has poverty, extremism, corruption, and it is in a vital place in the world in terms of pursuing the war in Afghanistan. So we have to be able to give support to India, and you indicated Secretary Rice is over there doing just that.